All right, good evening, everyone. It is time for the fantasy, the Daily Sporting's top three fantasy headlines heading into this 2020 football season. I got Ricky on here. We're going over these top storylines that we have,
Going on, people.
and Ricky, what are you really looking at going into the season? Like, what's like your number one storyline that you have right now?
Well, not just the fantasy, but what's going on, everybody. Not just with fantasy, but with also with just in general NFL. But with fantasy, to me, Cam Newton is a big, big star.
Mm-hmm,
Look, he was horrible last year,
mm-hmm,
but overall, he's been a top five quarterback.
mm-hmm,
Which, if he's healthy,
mm-hmm,
he could take that Pat team and he could be a top five. So people are gonna. I don't think people are picking him high, or some people might reach out and pick him, but I don't see him getting picked high. So he's gonna fall, and I mean he's gonna fall significantly.
mm-hmm.
Maybe not even get drafted. God knows what. But I don't think that's gonna happen either. But still, he could fall, and if you get him at a low, and he ends up being a top five quarterback, that changes your whole outlook of your fantasy team. I mean, with a top five quarterback, most people are in the playoffs. Most of them have a shot at getting the chip. Um, so it's not easy to come by. That's what Cam Newton is. That's what he's been in fantasy, not just in real life, but overall. He's in fantasy. He's been a top five quarterback, fantasy points. He led the league, right? I think he led the league in fantasy. So look,
Yeah.
that's what you're going to get at a discount to the point where some people might just completely just negate him or say no, he's done. But if he ends up being somewhat of Cam Newton, you could get yourself a top five quarterback at a really cheap rate.
Now, here's my question to you in regards to Cam Newton. Are you worried at all about Stidham? It seems like the Patriots really like him. Bill Belichick has been very non-committal with who's going to be playing the starting quarterback role. Do you see any friction where maybe they might, pull one out of the hat and decide to go with the younger guy?
Um, One that would be a slap in the face to Cam Newton.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think Cam signed here
Mm-hmm.
thinking he was going to duel it out for anybody. They might have been, wink, wink, yeah, that's what's going to happen. But there's no way you're telling me Cam Newton, he already did win that on a discount. Now you're telling me he's competing with Stim? No. It's Bill Belichick being Bill Belichick. That's what he does. He plays coy. He's done that. If Tom Brady wanted to come back, he's like, oh, we got to look at things. I mean, that's what Bill Belichick does. I think it's just kind of, for show. But Cam Newton's going to be that starting quarterback. If he's not, wow, that's a slap in the face to him. Or he really is hurt more than what is being let on.
Absolutely, and I think that one thing that we got to take into effect is Bill Belichick is a master of deception. He likes to throw a lot of smoke and mirrors out there. He likes to throw a lot of decoys. But I do think that Cam Newton will be the starter at the end of the day.
Yeah.
But the next question that I have for you in regards to Cam Newton is, how worried are you with his supporting cast that he won't be able to reach that, high point threshold without having any elite weapons? I mean, if we look at what Tom Brady did last year with this offense, he really didn't put up that great numbers, and they're not really getting anyone new to accommodate them on the offense. So what do you see about that going into the season? Do you think that's going to play a factor? Do you think Cam's better than that?
One, Cam can run. Brady can't run.
Mm-hmm.
So it was all going to be passing. Cam's not going to get you, if he's Cam of Cam, because that's what I'm talking about when you're talking about top five quarterback. I'm not talking about, sugar down Cam Newton. I'm talking about somewhat back all the way full healthy Cam Newton. I can run the ball when I need to run the ball.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to take risks, but I'm going to run the ball still and try to take less hits or something like that. No, I'm not worried about that. Plus, you have Bill Belichick, who's just, the schemes are ridiculous. He's going to find a way to use Cam Newton in that positive light, get him his TDs, get him his runs, and use the other guys around him. That's what Bill Belichick does. That's how good Cam Newton can be. I'm not saying he's Tom Brady, but he's went to the Super Bowl. Bill Belichick saying, listen, I have a guy who's been to the Super Bowl, been an MVP, been a top quarterback, had bad injury, but, he's saying he's healthy. As long as he doesn't see anything, the medical staff doesn't see anything. He's
So then
good.
here's my next question then, and we'll end it on this about Cam Newton because we could talk for hours about Cam and what's going to happen there. But what happens if Cam isn't running like you were saying? So let's just say Cam's coming in and he's doing decent. He's throwing the ball, but he's not really running and getting those rushing touchdowns. Is he then someone that you still want to keep on your team, or that you're playing every week expecting that? Or at that point, do you think that maybe you should hedge your bet, or also think about some guys on the wire at that point?
No, I mean at that point, if you're telling me he's not running and he's just
Yeah.
throwing the ball, and that's an anemic offense, team. No, he's going to be a backup quarterback.
Gotcha.
And if you have a really good team and you could take that hit, but you want that consistency, say, hey, all my other guys, they either they're going to ball out, they're going to do what they. Unless you have a team like that, and you say, you know what, QB, I just need someone to get me points. Then fine, but most teams are not with QB.
Sure.
I mean, unless you get really bad injuries, then you start picking up guys. But I'm talking about a guy you drafted, you're hoping he's going to be pretty good. Get you points almost as a QB, unless you kind of booted it out. But no, Cam, if he's not running, he's not worth starting.
Gotcha. So then would you hedge your bet with a Cam? Would you take Cam and another quarterback later on, or would you just fully ride it out with Cam and say, I'm gonna just take Cam, and if he's bad midway through, I'll drop him and pick up another quarterback, let's say?
Yeah, no, you would have to. If you draft Cam, you have to draft a backup quarterback.
So you're hedging your bet with a Cam. You would take Cam and another quarterback just to be safe.
I learned that last year. We learned that last year. No, we're picking a backup quarterback.
Sure.
And if he's not good out the gate, we have to really see what happens. But if the other guy's doing somewhat good, and our team is somewhat good, or your team is somewhat good, you're not going to keep going with Cam and say, hope he turns around. You go with the other guy. So you do got to get a backup quarterback, a good one. Not a great one, not a very good one. Just someone that's going to be, I wouldn't even know who. I mean, I think Philip Rivers is going to fall.
But are you really interested in Philip Rivers this year?
It depends. It depends what he has left. It depends what he has on that. That offensive is not bad. He has a good offensive line. He's going to be protected.
I mean, you could say that Ben Roethlisberger is back. And they have a better offensive line. They have a better offensive line. They have more weapons. And when Ben Roethlisberger was healthy, he was a better quarterback than Philip Rivers.
But no. But when he was healthy,
he's supposed to be fully healthy.
Okay, but I'm saying when he was healthy, what I'm telling you is Phil Rivers has been healthy throughout his whole career. He had most of his career, he's been pretty healthy.
Yeah, but Philip Rivers' ceiling isn't as high.
Philip Rivers had his first bad year was really last year. His first bad year, where you could say, "Damn!" I mean, if you look him up for the year before, I'm sure he didn't do bad in fantasy.
I mean, who do you think's a better quarterback, Roethlisberger or Rivers, if they're fully healthy?
I just like Ben because he's huge. I mean, but I'll be honest with you, all three of those worked out. Yeah. Eli, Phil, Ben, they all worked out. Honestly, you could switch them around, whatever you want, but they all end up working out.
Right. Okay, so then let's move over to storyline number 2, which is Hopkins switching teams. Yeah. I think that was one of the most shocking trades that we heard of the whole offseason. We have DeAndre Hopkins being traded to the Cardinals. What do you think is going to happen here? I mean, from what I'm seeing and from what I'm hearing, a lot of people have been depressing Hopkins on their value. They're scared of Hopkins. They don't think that Murray's going to be able to keep up with the passing targets in order to satisfy the volume necessary in order to be a top 5, top 3 running.
I think when we did that little the football draft, remember the way too early football draft, I told you then. To me, Hopkins is who I think you who'd you have more who'd you have over Hopkins? I forgot who you said.
I had Joe Mixon.
No, another receiver. We're talking about receivers only.
Oh,
you didn't have Hopkins as the number 3 receiver. You had
I have Tyreek Hill over Hopkins. I have Adams, and I have Thomas over Hopkins.
Thomas, right, and I didn't know about Adams. Like I'm thinking I pick him over Adams.
You would take Hopkins over Adams?
I think so this year. Yeah, I think he's going to be that good.
Oh man,
and to me,
no way.
Green Bay Rodgers is, that he's not happy. I don't know what's going on in Green Bay. I don't know what's going on. Rodgers
I
throws
mean,
to everybody.
what are you gonna tell me that you think that your guy Kyler Murray is gonna put up better numbers than Aaron Rodgers this year?
I think Hopkins going to put better numbers. I think Kyle Murray knows he's going to gun it out. He's going to throw it to Hopkins. Hopkins going to tell me, hey, young boy, throw it up in the air my way. I'll catch it. Anything up in the air against me, against anyone, or probably two people, I'm going to catch it. You're going to ball out. You could throw it. You have a gun. We're not playing around.
But then what happens with?
And you have a coach that loves that. Loves that. Spread them out. Go 5 or 6, whatever you want.
But when you play an offense like that, where you do spread them out, you do run 4 wides, and you have other wide receivers on the field like Larry Fitzgerald and Christian Kirk, don't you think that lends to some volume issues?
If it was someone different than Fitzgerald and Kirk, and what I mean by no disrespect to Fitzgerald, Fitzgerald is on his, he's coming back because he's thinking, hey, this team is for real. Fitzgerald's not wasting time here. He's not wasting time to go 3 and something. He's not wasting time.
Well, I mean, he's been in Arizona the whole time. And
what I'm saying to you, no. He either was gonna retire, or I'm coming back because I feel like this team, the quarterback I have, the coach I have, we got something here. People are underestimating how good the Cardinals could be. That coach he had them playing every game. All the games I watched, he had them playing every game, in the game, fighting. Even when they were getting blown out, they were fighting.
But they became a very run-heavy team where either you're running the option with Murray or you're running the ball with Drake. So their pass attempts were not, of the upper echelon in the league. I mean, when you compare what he was in with Houston to where he is with the Cardinals, they had fewer pass attempts and they have more weapons on the outside.
I just think the only thing that might hurt Hopkins is TDs, because when they're down there, they're going to cover Hopkins, and Fitzgerald's going to benefit from that, because you get him near the goal line. I'm not saying goal line, but you get him near there, he loves that. Fitzgerald can get free, and he's going to get his touchdown. So that's the only thing that hurts Hopkins to me. That does hurt him. I'll agree with that. But I think he's going to get his yardage, his catches.
So then, if you're looking at it like that, then where do you have Hopkins ranked this year as wide receivers? You have him like 2?
I said probably number 3.
Number 3. Who's your number 2?
Oh man, trying to think.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, you would have Hopkins up at 2, maybe?
No, I don't think I have Hopkins up at 2. I mean, I don't know. Let me look. Who do you have at number 2 or 1?
I mean, I have Michael Thomas number 1, Devontae Adams.
Well, that Thomas is 1, but who's your number 2?
I have Devontae Adams, and that's like a no-brainer for me.
Really?
Oh, no-brainer. Devontae Adams is a freaking.
So then who's number 3 for you?
Number 3 is Tyreek Hill.
See, that was the number 2, but that I don't even know if Tyreek Hill. Then we have Adams is number 4. I mean, Hopkins could be number 2.
I have no way. Like I have Hopkins at 4, and I have Hopkins at 4, and I could take Julio over. I could easily take Julio over Hopkins when Julio's had back-to-back top 3 finishes. Julio's had back-to-back top 3 finishes. Hold on. Julio has had back-to-back top 3 finishes the last 2 years.
Yes.
Tyreek Hill 2 years ago was the number 1 wide receiver. The last year he fell off because of injury.
No, but Julio, but I don't know what's going on in Atlanta. And plus,
so wait, you're more worried about Julio Jones, who's in a more stable situation.
Yeah,
than Hopkins,
this year, yes.
who's going to a new team with a new playbook, with more weapons.
Ball out. Not worried about Julio. I just think Hopkins is going to be better than Julio. He's going to ball out.
He wasn't last year. He wasn't last year in a team that would pass more than this one.
Yeah, but Houston, they weren't throwing it to Hopkins. What do you have? He still did good. What did he do last year? He was 17, almost 1,200.
He just wasn't higher than Julio, though. Julio was the number 3 wide receiver.
Yeah, Julio was there. But Hopkins will be better
receivers were Michael Thomas, Chris Godwin, and Julio Jones.
And that's another one that fell, Chris Godwin.
I don't know if he fell. You have to factor
That's what I'm
volume in.
saying.
How many people can eat over there? You have Evans, you have Gronk, you have OJ Howard, you have Ronald Jones, and you have Godwin, and then you have Cameron Brate, plus whoever they have playing.
I think Mike Evans is going to get his
wide
touchdowns.
receivers.
I think Mike Evans is going to get his touchdowns. I'll tell you
I
that.
know, but that's what I'm saying. Like, I mean, yes, they both could finish in the top 15, top 10, but would I take them over a guy like, to me, Hill has game-breaking speed, and he's used as that X factor, and we know Mahomes loves to throw him that deep ball. So that's
you're saying, but you're not worried about Green Bay. You're not worried about Rodgers.
Not at all. I'm thinking, I'm gonna say this. My bonus story,
I'm talking about real life. He didn't.
Yeah, my bonus. A-Rod is going to ball out this year. He knows that they drafted someone to possibly replace him, and he went on the air. He literally went on the radio. And he said, "I know that Green Bay drafted
this guy." Let's forget about Rodgers for a minute because he's a competitor. We get it.
Yeah.
What I'm telling you is the organization made a clear-cut choice.
Right.
To say, hey, we're choosing this backup because we believe in him. I'm telling you that you don't think there's going to be static between that coach and Rodgers after what the coach said.
This is what I was trying to say. Hold on.
We don't owe him a call.
No. What I got. Rodgers came out on the radio and spoke exactly about this, and he said, "I know they drafted this kid to take my place. My job right now is just to beat him out for this." Go through like Rodgers is going in with the ultimate chip on his shoulder, and when you have a great player that plays with a chip,
I don't know what the coaches. I don't
know
what
the coach going to do mid-season. That's not going to happen.
And if they don't start winning, Rodgers is going to get mad.
What do you mean start winning? Last year they went to the end. They were in the championship game,
but
they lost to the 49ers in the championship game.
Do you think Green Bay got better? Do you think Green Bay got better this year? Do you think Green Bay got better, really, or they get worse? They got worse, right?
They did a little bit worse. Okay. I will say that.
And the other teams, some of the other teams either stayed the same or got better. To me, it's going to be a hard season. There's tension in the air. I don't trust.
Who got better in that division?
I just don't trust the coach and calling good plays for Rodgers. And at one point, not even taking Rodgers out. That's how bad I think this coach doesn't like Rodgers. This coach, I think, is that bad, Steve. I think you're underestimating how bad it is that the coach does not like Rodgers. He made it very clear about that. First year, he made it very clear that it wasn't about Rodgers. It was about the team and this, and I always do have to better what's for the team. Rodgers was not in his thoughts. They didn't end up.
I didn't see Rodgers.
And the crazy thing is, they won 13 games, and Rodgers was still mad with the coach after winning 13 games.
Was he mad with the coach?
I think there was tension always there. Yes. Underlying tension.
I didn't publicly hear anything that there was tension, and they delivered. They got all the way to the championship game. I think that it would have been nice for A-Rod to get a couple more weapons, but I mean, at the end of the day,
that's another thing. They didn't get weapons. I don't know why they do that, but
they did have some young wide receivers coming up. Alan Lazard has some potential. They have a bunch of Marquise Valdez-Scantling.
Yeah.
Some of these guys are when you're talking about Devontae Adams being your number one. And then you have in the backfield Aaron Jones. You have two dynamic playmakers on the field already. So they were still in a position where even if they did do
Aaron Jones
they're still possibly one of the best teams in the NFC. And if you're telling me Aaron Rodgers comes in with a chip on his shoulder and puts up the numbers that he normally does, because that's the one thing you're saying that it's easier for Phillip Rivers to come back and be great than it is for Aaron Rodgers to use that fuel. Aaron Rodgers is the guy that.
What I'm saying to you is Phillip Rivers on the cheap is a great pick.
Right.
On the cheap, he's a great pick. Of course he is. Because if Phillip Rivers ends up being Phillip Rivers of not last year, but the year before, that's a great pick at such a low pick.
Yeah, but you could say the same thing about A-Rod because you're getting A-Rod in the 9th round.
A-Rod getting picked higher than Phillip, way higher than Phillip Rivers.
But A-Rod is getting picked as like the 10th quarterback when he's normally a top 3 quarterback.
So who are you choosing over A-Rod? So who are you picking that you're saying you're picking A-Rod over them? So you're not doing with Mahomes, right? You're doing with Watson?
I mean, it depends.
No, name 10 quarterbacks. Of course he is, because you could probably name 5 yourself that you're not going to pick Rodgers over, probably, right?
here's the point that we're.
But no, but what I'm saying to you is that's what I'm asking you. Can you even name 5 quarterbacks that you can pick Rodgers? The top 5, you're not going that way, are you?
I have at least 5 quarterbacks over him.
That's what I'm saying.
I have
so
Rodgers right now is ranked as like the 9th or 10th quarterback.
That's what I'm saying. That's why he's in the top 10, though.
But he's valued because if he goes back to his normal, he's like top 3. If he goes back to what he normally is, his ceiling is way higher than Phillip Rivers. Phillip Rivers, if he's hitting good, is hitting at like number 9. That's his peak. Phillip Rivers wouldn't be. Phillip Rivers at his best with the Colts won't be higher than a 9th, 10th quarterback.
Phillip Rivers could be. Phillip Rivers could be a top 10 quarterback.
I'm saying a 9th, 10th. He won't be higher than where A-Rod is projected. But A-Rod, when A-Rod is going right, A-Rod could be a top 3 quarterback. A-Rod could put up numbers of an MVP.
So who's gonna be? He's gonna put better numbers than who? Not Mahomes, right?
If he's hot in the season, yes, he can.
So you're saying he's the best quarterback in football? That's what you're saying?
He could be. He could be.
Okay.
Yeah,
Steve, we're not going
to pass. If he gets back to his ceiling,
of course he can be.
But his ceiling is higher than Rivers. His ceiling is he could be if he's hot and has a good season, he could be the best quarterback.
What are the chances? What are the chances? Like 15? That's what I'm saying. So what are the chances?
15% maybe.
That's what I'm saying. So it's not like
Phillip Rivers doesn't even have a chance to be a top 5.
No one said that. But you're picking him. You're picking him towards the end. You might not even draft Phillip Rivers. Right. Phillip Rivers might not even be drafted. That's why I say to him, I'm the cheap. He comes a 10th quarterback. You picked up a guy off waivers, and he's a top 10 quarterback.
That I can agree with.
That's what I'm saying to you. Saying to you about, I get it with Rodgers. Well, all I'm saying to you is top 3 quarterback. Again, who are you taking out then? Who are you taking out?
If he'd be the top 3,
who are your top 3 quarterbacks right now being picked?
The top 3 quarterbacks right now?
Yeah. You got Mahomes?
It's going to be Mahomes is number 1. It's going to be Jackson's number 1. Mahomes is number 2. And then number 3 is up for grabs. Number 3 is clearly up for grabs. There's tons of players that can put
better than Watson. Better than Watson.
Watson definitely he could be better than Watson. He could be better. Dak is the only one that I think that maybe is really, really that could be there. But Dak, I could even see having a down year.
Not Kirk. Not Kirk. Because Kirk is putting numbers up.
Who?
Kirk Cousins.
Kirk Cousins. Not when they lose Stephon Diggs.
Oh, that's true too.
Not when they lose. But I mean, I think we went away from the point of the storyline to focus on these quarterbacks. But I think that was a good conversation there. Just really kind of diving into the different philosophies and the ideas of where you get your quarterbacks, what their values are, and what their upside could possibly be. Like Ricky's saying that you can get Rivers who. He's going to come, off the waiver wire possibly, or, there's one of the last draft picks that you have. And he could, if he hits right, be a possible top 10 quarterback. And, I was simply saying that you're drafting Rodgers probably at the end of your 10 quarterbacks, probably going quarterback 9, quarterback 10. And he has the upside to definitely be a top 3 quarterback this year and possibly the best quarterback if he has one of those, resurgent, chip on your shoulder type years that we know these talented veterans can have. But then the last storyline that we have is literally what we're just talking about. An old veteran that's going to a team to look to bounce back and really make another run at a Super Bowl, and that's Tom Brady going to to
Tampa Bay. And he has so many weapons. You said it before. He had so many weapons. I mean, like he's gonna have because look, Brady he's not always been the great fantasy, but he's put up numbers. And last year was he's had no offense at all. Mm-hmm. And I forgot what the stats, but I think Brady did somewhat well in an offense that was horrible, and he had no one there.
I don't really know how well he did last year. I think he was outside the top 12. I'll look that up while you keep going.
But now he has, like you said, the weapons all before. Mm-hmm. To me, with a coach like Aaron, I just think it's going to be, it could be a really big upside for Brady. It could be one of his better years. Put it that way. I think he's that focused, Brady. I hate to say it because I hate him.
So
I'm a Jet fan.
Where do you think that Tom Brady would finish as far as quarterbacks go? Like, where would you have him ranked?
Right now,
Yeah,
again, he's fallen off completely.
Tom Brady.
Well, some people think he's
I
fallen
mean,
off completely.
so you think that he's going to put up a dud season with these guys? Like,
No,
what do you
no,
think
no,
he's
no.
going to do
Oh,
this year
right
with
now,
these
no,
guys?
no. What I'm saying to
Yes,
you is,
yes, yes,
if
yes.
you, oh, I'm saying right now before, if I pick him,
No,
he
right
could
now.
be, he could be a, he could be a Cam like Cam. He could be a top 5 quarterback with that many weapons.
How high are you going up for him? Where do you have him ranked?
That's the thing. I don't know if I'm reaching. It depends
Where,
what you call a reach. What's a reach for you? What round is a reach for Tom Brady? If he's right now, what's the reach?
I mean, to me, like, okay, let's put it
Well,
like,
look, you're picking Mahomes, you're picking Watson, you're picking Dak, right? You're not gonna choose him over him. I'm trying to think of a lower people. So you're choosing him over Kirk Cousins.
yeah.
Yeah. All right. So I mean, Kirk Cousins is where?
You like
He's
Kirk
probably in
Cousins.
the top 10.
Kirk Cousins in the top 10. Fuck out of here, bro.
No. I mean, didn't he put up fantasy points last year?
No.
He didn't?
No.
What did Brady do?
Brady last year was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
No,
6,
his
7,
numbers.
8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Tom Brady was the number 12 quarterback last year.
Right.
He threw
And what
for
was his numbers?
4,000 yards, 24 touchdowns, 8 interceptions.
So again, that's not great numbers. But what I'm saying to you is that offense was that bad, Steve. That offense was that bad.
And then when you look at Kirk Cousins,
He's not a top 12 quarterback.
Kirk Cousins,
in fantasy, he's not that.
Kirk Cousins finished as the 18th highest scoring quarterback last year. Put up numbers, right?
What about the year before? What was the year before?
The year before, I believe that he had put up a
that's what I was thinking.
Season.
But he's how many years in Minnesota he's been there? How many years?
This is like his 4th year. It's probably 2017 that you're looking at. He put up numbers because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
but
7.
He's had like 3 good years and what? 11. And one bad, or the first year was really bad, too.
I mean, I have to put it up, but he put up last year 12th. Brady put up like 11th. Rodgers 2 years ago was a number 5 scoring quarterback. Ben Roethlisberger was.
What was Rodgers last year?
Rodgers last year, I gotta pull it up. But Roethlisberger was a number 3 scoring quarterback in 2018.
Because
there's no way I would take Phillip Rivers anywhere near Ben Roethlisberger.
In real life, we were talking about though.
No, I'm talking about in fantasy.
No. But you said who would you before we were talking about real life when you said it. I said those top 3 quarterbacks. I said Eli. I was talking about real life.
Oh, yeah.
Talking about fantasy.
I thought you were talking about fantasy about Rivers.
No, fantasy, no. But anyway, we have to go through the numbers because Ben, the problem is he gets hurt. That's the issue. But Ben puts up numbers.
Last year, Rodgers was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. He was 10. He was number 10. But he was like 1 point with Wentz. He was 10 points out of there. But Mahomes was hurt. Yeah, Winston's though not going to be on this list. Yeah,
Wentz is not. You don't think Wentz is going to be top 10?
Wentz has that possibility. He's right there.
I think he has the possibility to be a top 10.
I think you kind of put Brady right slightly above some of these guys that right there. I would take Brady maybe above Aaron just because he has more weapons.
Yeah, I think Brady.
But I think Aaron is set for a huge comeback season. I think that he's someone that could definitely.
We're basically saying that it's the QB fantasy league.
What happened?
So all these QBs are going to come back. All these young, old veterans.
Yeah,
come back swinging.
The league is built for the quarterback. I just don't think Phillip Rivers will come anywhere near a top 12 spot this year. He doesn't run. He doesn't get. I just don't believe in him. I just don't. He looked like he was done last year. He threw 12 picks. He had 20 touchdowns.
He could be done. If he fell off the cliff.
I'm interested to see what happens with Ben because if Ben's healthy in that offense, they'll put up numbers, and he's a great offensive line.
So there's a lot of quarterbacks
that
are coming back. We need to see what's going on with them.
Yeah. I think quarterback this year is a situation where you kind of want to get one of those guys early, but if you're falling late, you can stack two guys pretty well,
Yeah,
and be happy. Like I would love honestly a guy like Josh Allen, and then you give me another quarterback that's a solid guy. Just because Josh Allen's rushing ceiling is so high, he had 9 rushing touchdowns
yeah, he
last
does
year.
well.
He had 510 rushing yards, so that's a big one. And then, a
You
guy
think
like
you think Cam could do that, or you want more from Cam?
Cam can't do that.
Can't do that, right? Cam
I,
can't do that.
I don't think they would put him through that because, I mean,
No, 500 rushing yards.
so
But you don't think he can get 9 touchdowns?
I mean, that's old Cam. That's Cam. Like Josh Allen is like old Cam, without as good passing. He's not as good a passer as old Cam was.
No.
But old Cam was the number one quarterback because he would rush in these touchdowns.
Yeah, that's why I think that's why he's the number one, to me, the most interesting fantasy star.
Yeah. And the one thing that I think this all boiled down to is we ended up doing a lot of talk about the quarterbacks and just some of these guys that have the potential to be good this year. But the offseason is long, man. So many things can happen so fast.
Yeah, and it's a different time. You don't know what's going on. Listen, we'll be happy if it goes off. And,
yep. And when we're looking at this, there's about 30 days or so left until the season starts.
And
so
people can't opt out anymore, right? People can't opt out.
Everyone's opted out for COVID. So now we're just gonna make sure that everyone stays healthy during what appears to be whatever version of training camp they're having this year. I know they're gonna do some light workouts. They're finally starting to get interact with the coaches. Right. So now we just gotta kind of watch and see. Hopefully no one gets any kind of injuries during this. We know non-contact injuries happen a lot in sports like this that can really ruin seasons. So as we get closer to the draft, make sure you stay tuned. We're going to keep you updated with all the latest and greatest information that you need in order to win your leagues. Make sure that you guys share, like, and subscribe the video so we can help more people and, so that you guys can give us the support so we can keep helping, more people. Ricky, do you have anything to close out with for the people or
no, just that, football season is around the corner when Hard Knocks is on TV.
Yeah.
So it's a good time. So hopefully it goes off. We're going to talk more about other positions. I think it's, we're getting down to the wire, even though there's like a few weeks left. It's still, you're getting down to the wire. You're hoping no one gets hurt, no one gets sick.
Yep.
That's the biggest thing is who gets hurt or who gets sick. More important, who gets sick, with this COVID.
Yep, because that's even scarier right now than an ACL is they can just catch COVID and next thing you know, you don't know how that's going to affect.
That's 2 weeks. I mean, from what I know, that's 2 weeks, and that's 2 games, and that's in fantasy and in real life, and it's a lot.
Yep, I think that's probably the number one storyline that no one wants to talk about for 2020 fantasy football is you make sure that you get yourself some backups because God forbid your guy gets
backups
COVID
are important,
and you're tight end, you only have one, now you have nothing to go back on, or you only have one quarterback and now you're like, oh crap, what am I?
The waiver wire is going to be important. All these things now more important than ever.
Yeah,
they were always important, but now more important than ever.
Yeah, so we're going to keep you updated and informed. We appreciate you guys taking your time to spend it with us. Have a wonderful night, and until next time, people.
Take care.